As I was growing up, I didn't have a TV. And as you know, I was also homeschooled. So you're probably thinking, wow, this guy was really, really sheltered. What did he do with all of his spare time? Well, I forced myself to do things that most kids would not do. You know, like go rob convenience stores or kill people. Yes, I was an assassin growing up. No, all of that, I am lying to you. I was very much into all sorts of atypical things, of course, because, you know, I had to keep myself busy. Like, for example, magic tricks. I was really into performing, oh boy, even just like the little itty bitty coin tricks or the bigger tricks. I just found it fascinating. And I had time to do this because I wasn't sitting in front of my television set just rotting my brain out. Consequently, I can't really relate to a lot of people when they're like, oh, you remember that episode of Full House when such and such happens? I have no idea. I've never seen Full House before. Now you may think, oh, what a shame, but wait. Let me give you an example of utilizing some of these weird skills that I learned. Magic tricks, for example, all right? When I was doing mission work in Nepal, that crossed so many cultural barriers. It was almost like a miracle unto itself. This white guy showing up in these villages, and these people not really knowing what to say to this white guy. I didn't really know what to say to them. They'd come up and be like, hey, would you like an egg? And I'd be like, I like eggs, and they'd get me an egg, as you already know in the previous story. Which, by the way, a few villages later on, a little kid actually came up to me and said, hey, do you like dog? And remembering what the last kid said when he asked me, do I like egg? He went and got me an egg to eat. And so I very quickly said, I like to pet dogs. And I made sure he understood pet dogs, not eat dogs. And the little boy, I remember, just laughed and scampered away. And I was waiting for him to bring just like this really sketchy looking shish kebab, but he did not. I don't think I ate dog when I was there. I did in Africa. Oh, definitely. But that's another wild story. You're probably wondering about these magic tricks, all right? How did did I just do these stupid little things that got a few kids giggling? Well, yes, but also many grown men as well. I would sit in, underneath the local tree in the middle, because they always have a big tree in their village. That's what I love about these small villages. It's very community-based. And when you're not working, you just sit under this tree to rest and to talk with some of the guys. It's so cool. And when I was there, I didn't really know their language very well. So I did coin tricks. I did, I watched some David Blaine videos when I was younger, and I figured out how he did them just over and over and over again until finally I saw something. I was like, aha! Well, that's rather simple. I could do that. And so I did. Yes, I brought David Blaine to a third world country. They were so blown away so many times. And I'll never forget the word of surprise that they would say. It wasn't, in our culture it'd be like, whoa, or wow, something like that. What they said whenever you did something really, really wild, like I'd twist my arm around in an impossible way, they'd say, la. L-A, just la. just the greatest thing ever, seeing these grown men expressions, just like their jaws drop and go, oh, that was so amazing. I made sure to tell them that I wasn't like all into witchcraft and everything like that, and every once in a while I'd actually show them the secret, because sometimes they did get a little superstitious, but I always did it with a smile, so they knew that I was really just there to make friends and ultimately to show them a much deeper message, and that is, if they die, they can go to heaven. That's the goal of life right there. That's a freebie. All right, so one of the magic tricks I did was with this little kid, and I remember he had a little shirt pocket and a little button-up shirt, cutest little boy ever. And he came up to me, and he was trying to talk with me, and so I pulled out a coin out of my pocket, which wasn't worth very much, so it wasn't, but still just enough for a little kid to be like, ooh, this white man is handling money, I better pay attention. And I do this quick little maneuver with my fingers and make it completely disappear. And he'd be like, la. And then, so what I did with the coin was I sort of, gently held him on his shoulder, and I was like, okay, stand over here, I'm gonna do another magic trick. And as I sort of gently pushed him to the side, I had finger palmed the coin in one of my hands, so it was hidden. So my hand looked relaxed, but on the other hand, it was pressed up in my palm, finger palming. And I kind of patted him on the chest like this, and right when I did that, I let go of the coin, and it slid straight down into his shirt pocket. Now, I have never ever done any kind of magic trick like this before. I was really just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. And so I continued doing like this other trick that had nothing to do with the disappearing coin. But then I kind of scrunched up my face and got really, really dramatic for a moment. And at that point, I was like 20 feet away from this little kid, and he kind of completely forgot that I was, patting him on the shoulder before. And then I pointed at him, and everybody looked at him, because at this point there was a big crowd of people gathered. And they all kind of started smiling. Of course, he was terrified because now this white man is pointing at him, and he just looks at me, and then I slowly point down to his shirt pocket. And this little Nepalese boy looked down at his pocket, reached in, and pulled out the mysterious vanishing coin. La. It was so much fun, so much fun. It's amazing how theater can really cross so many cultural barriers, which incredibly, I ended up getting my degrees in religion and theater. Fascinating, that.